Christ lets go of his identity as God on the cross, we are empowered in our powerlessness and weakness to let go of our identity insofar as we're attached to any aspect of it. It includes our roles, our thoughts, our feelings, our talents, our personal history, our expectations, our relationships, our possessiveness. In other words, it empowers us to imitate the total emptying or surrendering that takes place in God, which is not just emptiness, but which is making room for an infinite love that fills that emptiness.
God had a face, what would it look like, and would you want to see? If seeing meant that you would have to believe in things like heaven and in Jesus and the saints and all the prophets, and yeah, God is great, yeah, God is good, yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. He's trying to make his way home. Back up to heaven all alone. Nobody calling on the phone, except for the Pope maybe in Rome. Yeah, God is great. Yeah, God is good. Yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. Just trying to make his way home. Like a holy rolling stone. Back up to heaven all alone. Just trying to make his way home. Nobody calling on the phone, except for the Pope maybe in Rome.
The Frog Prince. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. She was very vain and selfish, and cared only about showing off her beauty and collecting expensive things.
What is this? I can't wear this old grubby dress.
Her father, the king, told her he had a present for her and showed her a magnificent ball made of pure gold.
My dearest, a neighboring kingdom has sent this golden ball as a gift to you.
Oh, it's so pretty! Wow!
It is. It is also the only one of its kind in the world.
The princess was thrilled and played with her ball in the garden every day. Soon, however, the princess began to grow bored because she had no friends.
I'm so lonely. I wish I had a friend to play with. That would be great.
Suddenly, she heard a voice that seemed to come out of nowhere.
Why don't you play with me?
Surprised, the princess looked everywhere, trying to see where the voice had come from, but she saw no one.
Who are you? Come out if you want to play with me.
As soon as she said those words, the owner of the voice came out of hiding and revealed himself. He turned out to be a frog.
You are the most lovely princess in the world. Would you let me be your friend and play with you?
The princess was shocked and disgusted because she thought the frog was hideous.
How dare you presume such a thing? I can't play with a repulsive, slimy frog. Get out of my sight! I may be ugly, but I'm fun to play with.
One sunny afternoon, the princess was playing with her golden ball as usual when it slipped out of her hands and splashed into a well. The princess was very upset and started to cry.
What can I do? My beautiful golden ball is lost forever.
At that moment, the frog heard the princess crying and came out of hiding to stand before her.
Don't cry. I can help you get your ball back. Leave me alone. How can a small, ugly frog help me get my ball from that huge well? It's easy for me. I jump in and out of the well every day. Then you can really get my ball back? Of course. But you have to promise me something in return. What? I will bring you your ball if you promise that you will be my friend from now on. You will allow me to eat with you when you have your meals and sleep next to you in your bed every night. Will you do that for me, princess? Anything, I promise. Just please get me my ball.
Satisfied, the frog leapt into the well. He emerged a few moments later, holding the golden ball.
Princess, here, I've kept my promise. Now, let's play. My golden ball! I got my golden ball back!
The princess turned and ran towards the castle without stopping to thank the frog.
Princess! Princess! Wait! You promised you would play with me! I lied, of course! Did you really expect me to play with an ugly, slimy frog like you? I never want to see you again!
The next evening, the princess was having dinner with the king. Suddenly, they heard a loud knocking at the door, and the princess recognized the frog's voice.
Princess! It is I, the frog! I have come to keep you to your promise. You said you would allow me to eat with you. Please let me in!
Who is that? And what is he talking about?
Embarrassed, the princess hesitated, but she told the king the truth about what happened between her and the frog by the well. That evening, the frog ate beside the princess. As for the princess herself, she was so disgusted that she couldn't swallow a bite.
Princess, I'm full now.
The frog helped you when you were in trouble, and you made him a promise.
Furious, the princess hurled a pillow at the frog.
Go away and never come back!
Suddenly, something very strange happened. There was a glow of light, and the frog transformed into a handsome prince. The princess was shocked.
Would you agree to be my wife?
The prince was so handsome that the princess fell in love with him right away. But then she remembered how rude she was to him when he was a frog, and she felt very embarrassed.
But Prince, I was so horrible to you before. Can you ever forgive me? Please?
I understand, Princess. I will gladly accept your apology if you make another promise. From now on, you will never judge people by appearances.
Yes, I promise.
The princess learned her lesson, and from that day on, she was kind and polite to everyone she met, regardless of their appearance. The prince and the princess lived happily ever after.
Mom, are you ready to be his friend?
Yes.
Try not to be that high up to be friends. I want everything to be low. Okay?
Okay.
Just try your best. I don't want you and my dad to be replaced and meanies again. I want you and my dad to be placed as settled and be friends. I'm not trying to be mean. I just want everyone to be friends. And if I can be nice, I think all of us can be nice too. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm trying to do my best in my heart. Nothing else than that. I want you, Mom, my dad, everyone to be friends. I want everyone to be smiling. Not like being mad. I want everything to smile. Especially when I see someone, I want them to smile. Especially Nana, everyone. I want everyone to smile. And if that's for my dad and you, Mom, I think you can do it. I think you can settle your mean heights down a little to short heights. Then it's both, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be a bully. I'm trying to be steady on the floor, not way down, on straight, on the middle where my heart is. My heart is something. Everyone else's heart is something too. And if we live in a world where everyone's being mean, everyone's gonna be a monster in their future. What if there's just a little bit of persons and we will eat them? Then no one will ever be here. Only the monsters in our place. We need everyone to be a person. Everyone, including me and my mom, everyone. I just want everything to be settled down. Nothing else. I just want everything to be good as possible. Nothing else.
Thank you, Tiana. Come and give mommyจุ๊บ I love you.
I love you too.
The hill country is just covered with woody species. Primarily, it's cedar. We took out a great portion of it here on the ranch. We were just covered with it. We had no grass. When we took out the cedar and spread native grass seeds and it began to grow, rainfall then percolated into the earth because of the root system of grass going down. Water percolates in, it fills up your aquifer until the aquifer is full, and when it's full, it has to come out somewhere, and they call that a spring.
What you are still afraid of is being rejected as a little child. So naturally, one shies away from this. But just to let it happen, and the habit of a regular period, twice a day, of this prayer enables one to develop the confidence and little by little the humility, because the therapy is so carefully designed for each one's personal history and psyche, and it doesn't normally push us into this too fast, so it waits for us. And so at just the right moment, like on a retreat, for instance, or a fairly quiet day or something, one is sufficiently rested for the poor body to say, here's my chance. And the psyche allows this thought to come to awareness. Well, if you don't do anything with it, it's just on the way out, and all you have to do is to wave goodbye. The divine therapy has to empty out the emotional junk of a lifetime that is stored in the body like a meal that has never been digested. So it's a little uncomfortable coming to consciousness. When we're blasted by unloading of the unconscious, or this psychic vomiting, which is very healthy because it's getting rid of something that shouldn't be in our psyche, this is the marvelous freedom, and while it's a little surprising when it begins, you get used to it. And it also has an end. At some point, you come to the bottom of the grosser aspects of what's been stowed in the unconscious and warehoused in the body. And then you're ready for the more refined work of the nights.
blossom time. I'll be with you to change your name to mine. One day in May, I'll come and say, happy the bride that the sun shines on today. What a wonderful wedding there will be. What a wonderful day for you and me. Church bells will chime. You will be mine in apple blossom time.
God is inviting us in this time and space to be with Him, to be in Him. He who allows us to be. And so we take a moment to pause, to bring ourselves into calm as we prepare to encounter God in another person. In these few moments of reflection, there is no right or wrong answer. This checklist will simply help us in awakening our spiritual senses, because this is where we meet one another in our mystical space together, in being in the house of God together, to awaken our spiritual senses, returning to the source of inner life. And God's invitation to holiness, or in the mystical space that we share with one another. Am I allowing God to perfect me? Because I acknowledge I'm not perfect without Him. Am I still? Am I recognizing that the person that I'm about to encounter is the presence of God at this very moment, and that I am shoes off? Am I approaching the person's heart as holy ground? Entering into that mystical space with God, in God, and with others, Am I allowing God to be God and to just be in His mystery at this particular moment? Do I like to improvise? And do I think that a little creativity outside of God's thoughts won't really mean any harm? Do I have confidence in God's holiness? Or am I swayed by people's opinions? Or do I like to go into my own comfort zone? As we go deeper into our mystical space that we share with one another, what's brought about is that inner calm, allowing us to really truly return to the source. And as we bring our mystical inner calm together, do I allow the mystery of the Holy Child in me? Do I recognize the mystery of the Holy Child in the person that I am encountering? And this expression called adulting, or trying to be adults. We ask ourselves, do I catch myself adulting because I think I've got it all together? And I do it because no one else would act like adults around here. And God says, let the little children come to me. And I place myself in that being surrounded with Jesus and His disciples at that moment. At that time, do I cherish the embrace of Jesus and feel His blessed hands placed on me when I speak to the other person? When we come to an inner calm, we can't help it. Sometimes we have these bad habits ingrained in us that can sometimes get in the way. If this is so, do I give myself permission to move away, to desensitize, when the conversation turns a little more interesting, a little juicy? At this moment, is my inner calm my state of mind? Am I delivering inner calm? Do I catch my bad habits getting in the way of God's holy ground? When I do move away, when I desensitize, and then revisit once again, am I in a state of, look, I'm different today? And now as we share that mystical space together, we look back to the scriptures. We look back to the Psalm, on the 23rd Psalm, when God says, I will dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. And when we enter into the house of God, into the dwelling place of God, when the conversation gets me to lie down in green pasture, am I calm? Am I trusting? How about when I don't feel like talking to anyone today? Is God inviting me to the banquet anyway? Who am I dining with today? Am I in God's dwelling place all the days of my life? When our limitations, our resistance, that tug and pull that we feel inside, that makes us become challenged to enter into that mystical connectivity with God and others, we ask ourselves, I woke up today in a rut. Does it mean that God is not with me? As we breathe in the life and the Spirit of God, we say this 3 times. We breathe in and we say, power is made perfect in weakness. We breathe in the Spirit of the Lord and we say, power is made perfect in weakness. Once again we breathe and we say, power is made perfect in weakness. Now, when days come when you just feel like celebrating, when victories have been made, achievements have been done, when I accomplished so many great things and I should feel like I'm on top of the world, why do I still feel defeated? We breathe the Spirit of God, who is faith. And we say, when I am weak, then I am made strong. Once again, we breathe in the Spirit of God, who is hope. When I am weak, then I am made strong. Once again, in the Spirit of God, we breathe in God, who is love. When I am weak, then I am made strong. We come to union with our God. And we say, I am perfectly holy soul, spirit, and body. Because God Himself is perfect and holy. I dwell in the house of the Lord. I live in His presence all the days of my life. This is our mystical space together.